Hey guys, just finished watching Arrow season 7, episode 8, Unmasked. Um, wow, what an episode. I mean, the episode was pretty interesting, but obviously that ending is kind of amazing. It's the same ending as Supergirl, but we'll get into that at the end of this review. First, let's get into the rest of this video, the rest of this episode. So we start off with the reveal that this new Green Arrow is a woman and stuff. I think that's really interesting, kind of dealing with that. I really didn't expect it to be a woman out of whatsoever. I think that's really cool to see as to kind of where things go with that, especially since we get the reveal that she's Oliver's sister or half sister. They both had the same father, Robert Queen. I think I remembered that, a while back, that they had, he had a sister or someone, a child out there. He cheated on Moira Queen, and I think that's really going to be cool to see that. And I think it was really cool how they had set that up like a couple of seasons ago in a flashbacks, and then they didn't, and then now they're bringing it back up here. And I think it's really cool to doing that. And they kind of teased that way long ago, and they kind of left that open to kind of play with it now. And I think that's really cool to see as to where things going with that. And I'm wondering, since this is season 7, and I think this is where Stephen Amell gets his contract ends. I think season 8. Pretty sure it's been picked up for season 8. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to wait and see. But season 8, if it's on the table, he has to sign a whole new contract for that, and everyone's all up. He already signed on for 7 seasons, and this, now he's no longer contractually obligated to return. So I think that's, one of those things that they're trying to kind of do all these different things and stuff, which I'm assuming they'd probably keep that. It's the CW's biggest show. I think the Flash is the CW's biggest show, and then you have the Arrow kind of, and it's kind of the heart of this whole center of this whole Arrowverse, right? So I think that's really going to be cool. They're not going to get rid of that, and they'll probably keep him around for a while. So I think it's really going to be cool to see as to kind of where things go with that, with her being Oliver's sister and stuff. And I think that's really going to be interesting to see as to kind of where things go with that, and how did she go on that the Green Arrow path type thing. I think that'll be kind of interesting seeing that. Did she kind of follow him throughout this whole time? She was his younger sister, right, stepsister. Did she find out immediately that he was the Green Arrow, and all this stuff? And I think it'd be really interesting to dealing with that. And I'd love to, once we get to know her, maybe next season, going into season 8, maybe we start off season 8, because now we have these future flash forwards that we're doing instead of the flashbacks. Maybe season 8 we can do her flashbacks. And if I'm not mistaken, the character, at least that's what they called her on IMDb, and Googling her, that's who she is in the comic books, Amiko Queen. So I think that's really going to be interesting to see as to where things kind of go with that character, and kind of looking her up and stuff. I've never heard of the character, so I think that's really going to be fun to see as to kind of how things are all going to continue on with that character. And she's going to be involved in the future, where things are going to go with it. I think it's going to be quite interesting to see as to where things kind of go with that character. It looked kind of fun. So we see in the future they end up finding Black Star, which I'm not mistaken is a comic book character, but I really don't know much about it there. It sounds like she has some pretty interesting powers here. It says online and stuff, but I think we'll have to wait and see as to kind of where she goes with that character. We see Oliver is honored. He's honored by the city for being the Green Arrow and stuff. Everyone, puts their faith in the Green Arrow over than the police, right? So I think that's really interesting with that. And they get Renee to kind of to call the new Green Arrow out so they can meet, and that goes awry type thing. They don't really get to talk to her for much. We see Felicity ends up shooting an attacker. We see that an attacker is killing off because someone attacks the benefit, the honoring of Oliver, and frames the Green Arrow for it. And we see Felicity ends up shooting the attacker and stuff, and then that's when Oliver kind of loses it. Like, you have a gun and stuff. That stuff he didn't believe Ricardo Diaz when he told him that Felicity almost killed him. Pointed a gun at him type thing. And I think that's really going to be cool to see that, how that kind of affects their relationship and stuff. And it's just getting annoying though when it's like, oh, now we're dealing with their relationship is in shambles again. They're breaking up again, and it's just kind of like, I don't care about their relationship. Just keep it good, keep it whatever. It's annoying, their relationship. I don't want their relationship to even be a story. Just have them be okay. They're good to be being back together. Cool, got it. Move on. We keep reusing the same goddamn storyline of something getting in between Oliver and Felicity and destroying their relationship, and that's the story that we follow. I don't want that as a story anymore. Season 7, we're too many seasons going into that. We've been doing that so long. We've been doing that since season 3. Ever since she started to actually, be around and kind of wanted to date him, be more than just his tech sidekick, right? That he kind of barely even notices, right? So I think, it's just getting annoying. They did this so many times before. They did this when William. They did this with this stuff, and it's just like the same story of something getting in between them, and now they both had difference of opinion, and things change, and things are changing people, and having a kid changed Oliver, and Oliver going to prison and changing Felicity, and it's just getting annoying. I don't care. Just leave it, because it's always going to get back together. It's just annoying, and I really don't care with it, and it's starting to get annoyed, especially when they do these moments, and you see Oliver, and they have this kind of like they had the terrible music over the episode. They have like this. It almost looks like a daytime soap opera, and it's just like terrible soap opera like background music, and it's just I hate it. So they need to stop with this stuff, this garbage, and they're kind of ruining the show with this stupid their relationships and chat. Like, just get over it, stop it. If you want to do that, do it with different characters. We haven't seen it before. We've seen it so many times with Oliver and Felicity. Do it with relationship between Renee and his daughter and them falling apart, or Diggle and Lila. We've seen that a little bit, but not as much. Give Curtis a love interest, or give Renee a love interest. Or Dinah. We saw her a little bit, but now she could give her a whole new love interest, and playing with that way. Just kind of mix it up if you're gonna do that. If you want to have that love interest storyline, it's annoying doing it over and over and the same things, just getting repetitive. It's just kind of they break up, they get good, and everything falls underneath. Good, and everything falls. Like, it's just getting repetitive, and there's no more drama involved with it, because it's just going to be good again, because it's on a pattern. You can predict where things are going to go with this stupid stuff. So it's just driving me crazy. They need to stop with this stupid relationship between Oliver Queen and Felicity. Just leave the relationship as it is. Stop playing with it. Just don't touch it anymore. It drives me crazy. So we see Felicity, she shoots the attacker, and I think that's really gonna be interesting to see how he's gonna get introduced to this new Felicity. But I really don't want it to kind of break them up again. I'd like to see him, I want to see them fight to stay together and everything stay good. But if they break up after just because of this, then I think that's kind of like, they're not meant to be. You have all these problems. It's not meant to be, Just stop. Just leave it and ignore it, go your separate ways. So I think that's where I'd like to see it. The whole point where they're meant to be together so much, and they push through this stuff, rather than seeing them kind of break apart again and then come back together and work on each other, and then, realize that they really need to be together and all that stuff. That's just kind of annoying. That's repetitive. But I think the idea of seeing him kind of, coming into and trying to rediscover Felicity. He just spent time in prison. He was in prison for a couple of months, yes, prison has changed you, but he's also was on Leanne Yu for 5 years, so this prison shouldn't be that bad for someone like him. He's gone through so much stuff. He should almost be able to bounce back from things like this. I mean, he would have learned a lot of that stuff with the the League of Assassins, all the different stuff that he's done, all the different people he's trained with and stuff, that he would have been a way to kind of jump back from things like this, that would not kind of leave him mentally scarred. And like in the beginning of this episode, she does scare him a little bit in the shower by accident and stuff, and I like that idea, but that shouldn't last too long, especially not for someone like Oliver Queen, who's gone through so much stuff like this, that he would be able to kind of have a callus to that, or have a quicker recovery period than the average person, because he has experience recovering from things like this. So we see Oliver puts on the Green Arrow costume without the mask, and then at the end of the episode, he ends up taking down Max Fuller, which was kind of cool seeing him back. I'm not sure. We haven't seen him since like early episodes, like I think it was episode 3 or something like that. We last saw him. Here, looking at the guy's IMDb page. Arrow, Max Fuller. Wow, 2012. Lone Gunman 2012 is last time we saw him as Max Fuller, and that is pretty cool. Wow, it's been a few years and stuff, and I think it's really cool seeing him back. I kind of likes having him back around and stuff. It was kind of fun seeing there, and kind of back into the early episodes, and I was like, oh wow, I thought I recognized him early on in the episode. I was like, I recognize him from somewhere, and he's like, oh damn, Max Fuller, of course. And I think that was really fun seeing him back. So we find out Oliver at the end of the episode. He starts working with the police. I guess he's officially working for the police. It's going to be unclear. Is he going to be, just an officer, like a police officer? But he wears the arrow costume. So I think that'll be cool to see as to where things go with that. As he, I guess he doesn't wear the mask anymore. There's no point, right? There's no point of wearing a mask at all, because it doesn't. Everyone knows it's Oliver Queen, right? And the whole point, working with the police, he wouldn't wear a mask because why would they? The rest of the police officers don't wear a mask, right? So I think that would be cool dealing with that. There also was one point when they met the future Green Arrow, and they were chasing after her, and she took off on her motorcycle, and the three of them were standing there, and it's like, why didn't Why didn't Black Siren, why didn't Dinah, why didn't she use her scream and just knock her off the motorcycle, She could have easily have done that and just knocked the motorcycle off, aim for the, if she has a directional of her powers, aim for the, just a bike to knock her off of it, and she would be fine from that. I don't know why she didn't do that, so that was kind of weird there. So I think it'll be cool to see as to kind of where things go with Oliver working for the police, and I think it'll be interesting to see as to how things kind of continue on from here. And hopefully, I don't know if we're ever going to build up to him, being the Green Arrow again and having a secret identity and again. But I think that'll be fun to kind of play with that. I think, maybe we'll have to wait and see. I mean, because who knows what's going to happen in the next episode, which, we get that teaser, which we saw on the end of the Supergirl episode. I was surprised that there was no there's no thing after this one that said, continued on, to be continued on Supergirl, right? Rather than, because Supergirl, they didn't have that because it's Supergirl. You just go back to Supergirl. That'll be the first episode of the crossover. Whereas this, if you're only watching Arrow, they never told you on this episode to go watch Supergirl next, It was kind of weird for this one. I don't know why they didn't do that. So I guess maybe most people at this night age would know that, with the internet. I guess if you watching that and it doesn't tell you to go watch Supergirl, or you wouldn't go online and look at that, then all hope is lost. You're probably not watching the shows properly, but I don't know. It's really weird seeing that, and even seeing that thing again. It was really cool seeing that. We got to see the Green Arrow, at least the costume from the Green Arrow from Smallville. So assumingly that they're saying that the 90s Flash and Smallville were in the same universe. There was a Superman going on in that. I wonder what timeline was that. Was John Wesley Shipp's Flash taking the same place, same time as the Green Arrow that Green Arrow? I mean, it looked a lot. That guy looked a little skinnier than Justin Hartley, who plays Green Arrow, who's now on This Is Us. So that's probably why they didn't actually get him to join in this show. Otherwise, I think it would have been so cool if they had just a couple of years earlier, if they'd done this a few years earlier, even last season. Well, I don't know, was This Is Us on last season? I forget. But it would have been cool to see him. Maybe we'll get him for a cameo. But I feel like if it is a cameo, it might be just like we had when we had Tommy Merlin back in the last crossover during Crisis on Earth X, where it was literally one scene, very fast scene, and that was it. He came in, put the costume on, spent like a day on set, or not even, right, and then come back. So maybe they get him to do that. But I feel like if they did, they would have used that tease. Or they would not have teased him here. They would have waited and put him in the episode rather than teasing him coming back. But I think it would be really cool to see the two of them together, and to see him on the show would be quite fun. Even if he did put on that costume, would be really interesting to see that. I know that they had to have offered to Tom Welling to come back as a different version of Superman, especially with we saw seen the set photos and stuff, and the trailers have been out of Tyler Hoechlin as Black Superman. They definitely offered Tom Welling to come back for that, and he said even on Michael Roberts' on the podcast that he wouldn't want to come back as that character. He wouldn't want to touch that character, which I guess that's disappointing to all us fans, but at the same time, I would definitely love to see him at least come back as someone, anyone on Supergirl, mostly Supergirl, but just to have him come back as, anyone, even just to see him on the show as a recurring character. Kind of like the way Helen Slater recurs on Supergirl, something not, too often, but, still open to recurring appearances, So I think that's really going to be cool, and that, like I said, the Elseworld teaser there looks super cool. I'm surprised that it's disappointed it's something different, but I'm glad that they're only keeping it to this and saving, reusing, probably get the same end teaser, for in the Flash episode tomorrow, or tonight actually. But we'll have to wait and see as to kind of where things go with the actual show. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. We're really most excited and for the crossover, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes
Subscribing.
is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.